Can I ask you, Mr. Adeeb, since you've been tourism minister, when you see the biggest names of Bollywood that you said helped put Maldives on the global tourist map, today Amitabh Bachchan to Kangana Ranaut to Akshay Kumar, who was just in Maldives a few days ago, are angry and are speaking up as Indians. Does this concern you? Does this concern you?
Yes, it really concerns me because as a Minister of Tourism, I work very closely with them as well. So I know how powerful they are, how it will impact our tourism industry, which is very fragile as well. So we should be more responsible and try to sort out this situation rather than letting it blow up and also this escalation has to be sorted out. So for that, I think President Modi himself has to reach out to the Prime Minister Modi.
Ambassador Sinha, if the president doesn't reach out, the government of Maldives did issue a statement. It did announce suspensions, but there's been no personal outreach. The former VP says there has to be that and an apology. Mr. Adeeb, who should the apology come from, according to you?
I think on behalf of the government of Maldives, President has to issue it to the Prime Minister of India, as well as personally reach Prime Minister of India and try to sort it out this problem because it might be very harsh for Maldives because as you see the social media is there is a lot of anti-sentiments at the moment. We should try to sort it out rather than let it escalate. Diplomatic
So,
crisis as well as social media crisis.
so Ambassador Sinha, how does it de-escalate?
Well, I think if the president were to call our prime minister, that would be extremely good gesture, and that would be very nice. I think that would really settle this issue completely. But even if he doesn't do that, because I think it will be very difficult for him to call up and apologize, it requires a great deal of magnanimity of character to do a thing like that. But even if we were to take the action of at least dismissing these ministers who have behaved in a manner that is not does not behove a minister of any country, that action should, from our point of view, be sufficient. I don't think we should push this matter too far because the fact remains that we are a very large country as compared to the Maldives, and any kind of toughness by us will be seen by the world as India bullying a small neighbor, which does not behove us. So we should ensure that the bottom line for us is our security. On that, there should be no compromise. But on these minor issues, like one comment coming in that Lakshadweep doesn't have rooms that smell, I think those can be ignored, and we can move on. But certainly on the issue of security, there should be no compromise.
But the problem is that some of these comments about the prime minister in very pejorative language came from officials, not from trolls. And do you think we should at least insist that the suspension is a permanent removal?
Yes, I think that is something that we should insist upon, that these ministers do not deserve to be there. They should be removed from there. Because if these are officials, if they continue, then we will have to see this as the national policy of that country and then respond accordingly.
Right. Mr. Adeeb, there has also been an issue that the present government has made about the presence of military personnel of India in Maldives, which, as Ambassador Sinha was pointing out to me earlier, is only 75 in number. What is the issue that this government is trying to create in relation to the presence of Indian military?
Yeah, so this was something mentioned by President Yamin, but as I mentioned earlier, it was himself who signed two of those agreements. So when you're trying to play politics and mix it with international relations, this kind of unreasonable things like suddenly they're saying that there's military presence, which was brought in by himself, but just to blame the government at that time because they were having a very good relationship with India, and India was helping Maldives. For political reasons, they brought in this issue, and then and then after that, Moise has inherited that with this party hardliners still inside the party who has joined some of the key positions. So it's nothing. It doesn't represent the sentiments of Maldivian people. It doesn't represent the majority. So it's just few people there, and they use it for politics. And I never thought that it will continue when they are in power. They should be more responsible, I would say.
In the end, before I give Ambassador Sinha the last word, what would you, Mr. Adeeb, want the people of India to know? People of India who are only following this from social media, do not know much beyond this. What would you want them to know?
I want people of India to know that the people of Maldives, I mean, they love India, Indian culture, Indian food, Bollywood. You know, we grew up watching it. We all know Hindi. We understand it very well.
हिंदी
So
हिंदी आता है आपको?
yeah, हमको आता है. Yeah, so it doesn't represent the sentiments of Maldivians, but it's few people, few politicians who used it for politics. So I believe that we should, as Ambassador said, we should overcome this and then work together as well. And then India is blessed with Lakshadweep and Andaman Islands, which can complement each other if they create tourism there. Because as Minister of Tourism, I know if the region develops, our country also develops. Then there's a lot of economies of scale and a lot of competition, which will benefit us as well.
Absolutely. Ambassador Sinha, last word to you, sir.
Well, I totally agree with Mr. Adeeb. It is any improvement in the infrastructure in tourism in the region, whether in Lakshadweep or in Andamans or in Kerala or any other place, benefits the whole region, and the whole region gets an image of a place that tourists should come to. Everybody will benefit from this, and this is what we should concentrate on. We are a very poor region of the world. We have to concentrate on our economic development rather than worry about all kinds of geopolitical issues around the place, around the world. That should be our aim over here, and we have to cooperate with, live with each other in peace and harmony, and we should get over this little thing that has happened, put it behind us. But as I said, security interests have to be respected, and that is something on which there can be no compromise. And India's neighbors must also keep that in mind when they formulate their policies.
That's right. And China is, to that extent, the elephant in the room. But I think, as we can agree, these are all beautiful parts of our part of the world. And as Mr. Adeeb said, they can complement each other. But it will be important to see what the next public articulation is from the Maldives government. Thank you very much, Mr. Adeeb, former Vice President of Maldives, and Ambassador Dilip Sinha, diplomat.